Hello and welcome to the Lengthy Yarn Podcast, an awesome knitting production. This is episode 2 of the show, which will include the following: works in progress, off the needles, all that jazz, and acknowledgements. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host Frank, also known as Knitting Guru 1 on Ravelry. And I will begin with acknowledgements. Designer Yarn, located on Proctor Boulevard in Sandy, Oregon, provides luxurious and designer yarns for the people of the surrounding area. For more information, please visit dyarn.com. Again, that is dyarn.com. Well, it's been a very blustery day today in the Portland area. A lot of people's power has gone out, so I'm told, and hopefully it does not happen here up in Estacada. But it has been known to happen, so I'm hoping to get this uploaded onto YouTube before that possibly happens. But so next up is the works in progress segment. I only have one thing in this segment, and that are fingerless gloves. Multiple pairs of them commissioned by the owner of an alpaca farm, Endless Alpacas, and I believe Elberon, Virginia is the name of her town, and she sent me some yarn to knit the fingerless gloves out of for upcoming festivals that she can sell them in. And the pattern it was kind of it didn't have any copyrights on it. It was a free pattern, and there wasn't an author listed on it, but they're just basic cast-on 40 stitches, work in ribbing for a few minutes or a few inches, and then just work in plain stockinette, cast off 6 stitches for the thumb hole, knit across, cast on 6 stitches, and then continue knitting until the end. Very simple and very easy to work with. I'll probably knit another inch for the ribbing cuff, and then I'll go into stockinette. The yarn I do not have the actual label, but it's an alpaca wool blend, and it's a really nice black, and it's so soft. I love it very much. I wish I could keep at least one of the pairs from it, but sadly I can't. And I will be working on that until I use up all the yarn for it. Then I'll send it back to her, and that'll get me some good money to spend during the Christmas season, which is fast approaching. If you haven't started your Christmas knitting projects and gifts, I recommend you do so, because we are in the second week of November. So that would be for not very many weeks until Christmas. I have begun on my Christmas knitting, which is so far only one thing. I'm not going to be working on anything else for anyone this short notice. And speaking of that Christmas gift, that leads us into Off the Needles. The first thing, or the only thing I have for Off the Needles, is the first Mama George Christmas sock. It is a Afterthought sock by Laura Linneman out of Crown Mountain Farms Sock Hop yarn in the colorways Layla and Knockin' on Heaven's Door. And I was very happy with the sock. It was my very first Afterthought sock, Afterthought heel. And it was enjoyable, and it fits my mother's foot very well, and I strongly recommend the pattern for a beginner sock knitter, because it's very, very clean and easy to understand and not confusing whatsoever. The only segment I have left is All That Jazz, and what I have for All That Jazz is I won Knitting Fever Incorporated's giveaway for Noro magazine's fall-winter issue. It was hosted on Pinterest. They had a contest for a blog, for their actual blog, and then they had Pinterest, and I entered in on there, and I won. So I will be getting a copy of Noro's fall magazine in probably the next few days. It's Veterans Day today, so the mail service is not operational. But it will be tomorrow, and I hope to get it soon. The patterns in the fall and winter issue were not my favorite because most of them were either knitted skirts, sweaters, or full-blown dresses, which I'm not that advanced of a knitter. I don't know how to knit a sweater, let alone a dress. So there were a few cowl patterns and a few fingerless glove patterns that I will most likely knit sometime in the future, but for the most part, I think I will be saving it for another time to do the projects once I get into sweaters, which hopefully is soon. I think that'll be one of my New Year's resolutions. It's already time for a resolution that I'll probably never fulfill, but anyway, that is the only thing I have for the All That Jazz segment, so that concludes today's episode. I hope you have a great week of knitting and crocheting and all other crafts. Good luck on any Christmas knitting you have started or have been working on. And above all, happy knitting.